All right, everybody. I have some news. Um, None of my audio recorded. Well, that's not true. Some of my audio recorded. Let's take off my glasses so that we can do this officially. Some of my audio recorded. A good share of it didn't. I think about 6 of the 7 hours it didn't record. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a voiceover for all of the interesting stuff. So yeah, sorry about that. I that's not a great second episode, but you know, I'm glad I didn't do more than I did. I mean, I did a lot, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm glad I didn't do more. The we'll talk about it at the end. So I'll see you at the end of the episode in 15, maybe 20 minutes. So be safe. Love you. Bye-bye. All right. So I've got the 12 that I need for the next one, the next set. We're just going to do that, and we can make our last one. Boom. We've got everything. Is it going to congratulate us? That's the question. Yes, it is. Look at that. And here's the question. How do we want to build this? I think it's a relatively easy question because I think we're just going to go... We're going to try to make this as easy as possible. So we will put that there. Put the walls in a 3x3. And I'm pretty sure that we can do this. Sideways. We cannot. Okay, if only I had just read it. It said it needs to be a 3x4x3. Okay, so I left this to just kind of go by itself and continue to produce. And honestly, I mean, it uses an awful lot, but we have such a backlog that I think not having this run for a little bit really isn't that big of a deal. Like, if, you know, we can throw all this back in. Actually, let's just do it the correct way. Way we don't have to wait on it to update. And we can just do that. And it'll build back up. But, I mean, this is probably 20 minutes. And we're not losing any steam whatsoever. Now, once we eventually do upgrade to low voltage, it will be a completely different matter. Because once we're in low voltage, it's going to be a whole lot of steam going through. Because the steam is just constantly going to be powering our electricity, and we'll just be doing steam generation rather than all of this. So we've got that going for us. We've got these holding it up, and then we've got a bunch of iron being made right now, and we've still got all of this, and so we'll be chilling on iron. That's good to know. All right. Now, the only thing that I need before I go in there is a stick for the vampire goobers. I'll probably need sticks anyway. Okay. So let's go. There we go. Let's go through. Let's see where we're at. Huh. Let's just try that again. No. Okay, so we're just going to move our portal away from that because I don't want to like have to worry about their wither farm. This is going to take a while. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure it's disconnected. Okay, so I moved the portal hoping that we could not get the same... Oh, hi there. Hoping that we wouldn't be at the same place, but we didn't really have any luck with that. So, you know, we're not going to touch this. This is someone else's. So, and who's it owned by? Ah, silly goose. Oh my goodness. I am such a goofball. I completely forgot to record some of that. I'm trying to remember what I did. but that's not a big deal. I mean, so I was talking a little bit about some of our infrastructure that we've made. The only thing that we're kind of getting let down by is our redstone, or our forge hammer. Our forge hammer, our pipes can't pipe enough for our forge hammer to have plenty of steam, and so we're having an issue there, because I was wanting to work, like, you know, not have to deal with doing these too often. But I mean, if we look at this, oh, I guess that was a little too quick, but doesn't matter. That's just something we need to look out for. I went to the Nether, and I want to make sure that our portal, I want to make a second one so that our portal isn't an issue for our fellow members of the server here, because I think that that'll be a real big problem if I don't nip that in the bud. So we're gonna go figure out where the hole is. There she is. Okay, so I need to go to -173, -99. So I need to go this direction. I will want to put some safety railing on this. I think that we'll be okay with our height, because the minimum height that I need, or like I just need it to be in the general vicinity of what my height is in the overworld. Oh, hi there. I'm going to try it. I don't think that you can make a 3-wide portal, since it's 1.7. I stand corrected. Okay. Now if I go back through, perfect. Goodness, that was a pain in the rear. So I had some issues with my computer and thought that I was recording. I was not. OBS wasn't even open, so that's a little awkward. But what I'm working on is getting more bronze, because we are completely out. Okay, now I am going to pause the recording. All right, now I've been thinking, and I figured out I crash if I'm anywhere near this. Oh, maybe it's this. Let's see, if I come over here, we're fine. I come right here, we're fine. No, I think that there's a glitch with my coke oven. Whenever I actually, this is a good way to figure it out. Okay, it's not the coke oven. Try this bad boy. Okay, it's that. Huh. Huh. Maybe it's these? Actually, that's very likely. Yep, that was it. So if there's already stuff in a crafting station, it will crash the game. What? Well, I just don't know what it is. I think, I don't know, maybe it glitched this. Oh, I'm all out of food. So if I'm over here, we're okay. Right here, it crashes. If I break that, and I'm over here, it crashes. What? Is it something with this array of... Okay, so everything finished with these. I am not sure. It's not doing it anymore. Okay, so I am using a chicken farm that's actually used for a newer version of Minecraft, but because we have Et Future Requiem, we're able to simply bring in a whole bunch of stuff that we normally wouldn't be able to. I found this on a YouTube short, and from Mr. Red Official. I'm not sure if they created it first, but that's the one that I'm using. And so I might as well give attribute it. But yeah, so we're using that. And if I can find some more chickens, we will grab some more, because I don't want to wait for a whole bunch of eggs in order to do it. But what I'll eventually do, and I'll show you here in 2 seconds. Okay, so if we come over here. That does remind me, we can upgrade to the steel versions of these. We need 1 steel plate and a bunch of wrought iron. Okay. Oh yeah, we need a set of those. High pressure steam forge. And we're going to put it this way so that we can start putting stuff other places as well. Okay, we got our compressor. Okay, so what I've done is I made a kitchen, kind of. I made a cooking table, and this has recipes that I can do. So as I get more and more stuff, I'll be able to just have it in my inventory, and I'll be able to see everything that I can make. And especially I can click here and sort by number of times eaten, and I can make stuff that I haven't eaten yet. Because what my main goal is to get our hearts up, so that we can eventually, once it's reasonable to actually get the healing axe. All right, we didn't lose quite as much footage as I thought we did, which is a good thing. But what we'll do is just from here on out, everything is going to be voiceovered, and I'm not going to do any fancy thing with the saturation. It's not really fancy, but it won't be grayed out whenever I speak. So just look out for that. And I'll just be describing what we did and how difficult it was. So I'll see you in 2 seconds. All right, real quick, I just want to talk about one of the biggest quality of life things that we did in between this section and the previous. Now, that cooking for blockheads thing that I set up, I actually added counters. You can kind of see parts of this. I don't think I actually ever talked about it, so there's not a real up close with it. So all that I did was add a bunch of counters, and what that allows me to do is put food in it, and then that one section where I could look at all of the types of food, it'll just automatically update for each type that I want to use, and I can sort it and it'll just automatically produce it for me. I have to have the tools to do it, but that's not a huge deal compared to doing it by hand. So basically I can just have all of my tools in a cabinet and it'll automatically use the ones that it needs. So it's really nice. I am a big fan. So anyway, up on this section, I decided to do a sacred oak tree, and that was a mistake, and not a mistake I'll make more than 3 times. So I'm sure we will. Here I am doing it, and this entire process took me about 20 minutes to chop down. So I'm going to skip through all of this, and you'll notice I still leave a ton of stuff up there. I mainly bridged up to get to the top, and I understand why they say not to put this in your base. So anyway, we're going to leave that there, and let's talk about the next thing. Oh yes, this is actually a part that I am most proud of. What we're doing here is I am putting a bunch of coke ovens down in the basement. The purpose of this is so that we have just a massive array of them, so that up above, we're not worrying about creosote when we're trying to fuel our solid fueled boiler. So what we're eventually going to do is we're going to put a tank upstairs, and we're going to swap where the iron tank is with a steel tank, and we're going to use the items from the iron tank to make a iron tank specifically for creosote, because the iron tank can hold twice as much. So, or the steel tank can hold twice as much. So the goal is that we'll pull all of our creosote from down here, push it upstairs, and we're going to use the massive, I think it's sacred wood, right? I'm not sure. Let's see if I move to it again. Yeah, so the sacred wood tree logs. So we're going to use that in order to fuel everything. And we'll use a whole bunch of resources, and the goal is that we'll just automate all of this. So that's what down here is, and I'll show the afterwards here in a moment. And here it is. This is me putting together the final one. Altogether, I believe that this is about 1,600, 400, or 1,640, something like that. Bricks. So this is 1,600 and something bricks, all put together. This took me quite a while, but doing it with the alloy smelter made it so much easier. I had no clue that you could do it with the alloy smelter, so I was very happy when I figured that out. So if you're going to do that yourself, use an alloy smelter. It's just sand and clay, and it makes it so much easier. But you can see here, I've got everything, and I just start filling it up. So this is where we're going to be, again, as I said, just getting all of our fuel, and it'll be fueling us for a while. I believe it only takes 12 in order to fully feed a solid fueled boiler when it's a 4x4 by, I think it's 6 or 7 in height. I'm not 100% sure. But in order to fuel the max size, you only need about 12. Here we have 16, so we should be set. So it's nice. We have 2 blocks below and 2 blocks above, so that we can easily do piping and everything like that. I might go down one more and up one more just in case if we need to. But for now, I think this will work, and we're vibing. All right, and this is the culmination of the episode. This is the conclusion, I should say. We finally make a steam turbine. Look at that. That is amazing, isn't it? Now, with the steam turbine, it felt exhilarating. Now, I wish that I had more audio of myself, as you could hear me just being so happy. And, you know, clearly as I go and grab another thing. But I want to let this music play, because you can kind of hear, kind of see me go, thank you very much. Yeah, so I just kind of, you know, it's like, yes, bow, bow, yes, you're welcome, thank you very much. And so the goal of having all of this is to automate the 3 primary required items, and that is the pumps, the conveyors, and the motors. The motors are going to be the most important one. And also the pistons. The pistons, they're going to be easier, because really the only thing that we need for the pistons is the good old, it's just steel. Like, that's 90% of the resources that it requires. But the reason that I want to have all of that automated is because that's going to be needed for automating literally any of the things that we do in the future. So that's the episode. I'm gonna be honest. I do make a wire mill, and I'll show that here now. But after that, I think, yeah, that'll be the end of the episode after that. And I will come back as a regular person in game, and you won't have to deal with me doing voiceovers anymore. So I apologize once again for having to do this, and I hope that you did enjoy the episode either way. So I will be right back. Actually, here I am getting the wire mill. So you can see me, I did a cut, and I had everything for it, and there we go. So this is kind of the start for more resource saving measures that we'll have as we continue. So yeah, I mean, that's the first thing. One of the things that I wanted to ensure was that our steam turbine doesn't actually use resources if it's not powering anything. So if nothing's running, you know, I wanted to make sure that steam wasn't going to be a problem. And you can see here that the amount of it doesn't fluctuate at all, and that's a good sign that it's not actually using any steam. And I looked it up as well, just in case. But that is our first item and our first low voltage machine that will help us as we go, and there will be many, many more to come. I'm sure that tomorrow, or next episode, sorry, not tomorrow, will be filled with us getting these machines. And don't worry, I will be making sure that I have lots and lots of resources. So this is just me hooking it up, but that's not very important. It's not very interesting. So I will see you in a second. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is where I'm just going to talk about what we're going to be doing next episode. My plan is primarily just going to be, let's automate everything. I want to automate the entire process from start to finish of getting the resources for this and everything afterwards. I want to have all of that automated. When I say this, I mean circuits. So I want to automate the process of making the general basics, the basic items. So that's the conveyor, the pump, the piston, and I think those are the main ones. I think those are the main three. I don't think that I really need to worry about the other ones. But also, I want to have a lot of the rotors. The rotors are going to be super important. So that's my plan. And this has already been a mess of an episode, so I apologize. I wish I wish this one went better. I don't know. It was a mess. So I do hope that you enjoyed, and if you do, please let me know. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.